Did you know that your brain and your eyes shrink faster at night, especially after the age of 60? That's not a scare tactic. That's a published fact. In 2021, Neurobiology of Aging reported that older adults experience accelerated neuroretinal shrinkage during nighttime hours, triggered by poor blood flow, low antioxidant levels, and an overworked nervous system. And here's the worst part. Most people go to bed doing absolutely nothing about it. Now, I don't say this to frighten you. I say this because I've seen it firsthand in clinic, in families, in my own patients. Seniors waking up groggy, eyes dry, vision blurry, struggling to remember why they walked into the kitchen, and every time they chalk it up to just getting older. But let me be blunt. What's happening to your brain and eyes at night is not just aging, it's neglect. The hours between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. are when your body is supposed to repair itself. Your retina clears toxins, your brain consolidates memory, your nervous system resets. But if you go to sleep depleted without feeding your system what it needs, you're letting the damage pile up night after night, year after year. And by the time most people notice the decline, the fog, the forgetfulness, the faded vision, it's already been happening for a long time. So let's change that starting tonight. Because the truth is, your brain and your eyes are hungry before bed, and there are simple, natural ways to nourish them. No drugs, no side effects, no complexity. If this is your first time here, I'm Dr. James Porter. For over 30 years, I've helped older adults protect their most valuable assets, their independence, their clarity, and their ability to see and think clearly, well into their 70 seconds and beyond. If that's something you care about, feel free to hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. In this video, we're going to explore 3 powerful warm night drinks that can quietly support your vision and memory while you sleep. These aren't miracle cures, they're rituals. And when used right, they could help you wake up clearer, sharper, and more confident than you have in years. Let's start with a golden drink older than modern medicine, one that's been healing the mind and eyes for over 2,000 years. Let's begin with something simple, something warm, something golden. Golden milk is more than a comforting bedtime drink. It's a functional remedy rooted in Ayurvedic medicine and now confirmed by modern science, with powerful effects on both the brain and the eyes. And here's what makes it so special. Every single ingredient in this drink has a targeted effect on nighttime healing, especially in seniors. The key player here is turmeric, specifically the active compound curcumin. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and neuroregenerative compound. And when consumed before sleep, it doesn't just sit in your stomach, it goes to work. Let's start with the brain. A study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry in 2018 showed that daily curcumin supplementation led to a significant improvement in memory and attention in adults aged 50 to 80. But more than that, brain scans showed increased activity in the amygdala and hippocampus, areas responsible for emotion and memory. Translation? This golden compound helped reactivate parts of the brain that had already begun to slow down. How? It works on 2 levels. First, it reduces chronic inflammation in neural tissue, something strongly associated with both Alzheimer's and general cognitive decline. Inflammation chokes communication between neurons, creating mental fog and memory lapses. Turmeric helps lower inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and IL-6, giving your brain space to function again. Second, it boosts levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a molecule essential for forming new brain connections. Think of BDNF like fertilizer for your memory. The higher your levels at night, the more likely your brain can repair what age has slowly worn down. Now let's talk about your eyes. A 2019 review in Current Eye Research found that curcumin may protect retinal ganglion cells from oxidative damage, especially in conditions like glaucoma and age-related macular degeneration. These are the very cells that transmit visual signals to your brain. When they're damaged, vision becomes blurry, strained, and slow to adjust to light. But curcumin does something extraordinary. It crosses the blood-retina barrier. That means it can actually reach the fragile cells inside your eye and help neutralize the free radicals breaking them down. especially when combined with healthy fats like those in warm milk. Let me give you a real example. A retired high school principal, 71 years old, came to me complaining of early memory lapses and night vision problems. He started a routine of drinking golden milk 5 nights a week, just 1 cup before bed. After 2 months, he told me, "I don't wake up in a fog anymore. I remember my neighbors' names again. And I haven't missed a step going down the stairs in weeks." That's not a miracle. That's biology supported by consistency. Golden milk also includes black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that boosts the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Without it, most of the benefits would be lost during digestion. Now, how do you make it? It's simple. Warm 1 cup of unsweetened plant milk or dairy milk on the stove. Stir in half a teaspoon of ground turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and optionally, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Simmer gently for 5 minutes. Do not boil. If desired, add a small touch of honey, but keep it light. You're not trying to spike your blood sugar before bed. Drink it slowly. Let it signal to your nervous system that it's time to power down. Let the nutrients do their work in the background while you sleep. Because golden milk isn't just about comfort. It's about sending the right signals to your brain and your eyes that tonight is for repair, that tonight, healing is the goal. And if you make it a ritual, something your body can count on, you might just find that your mind becomes sharper and your vision clearer, not overnight, but over time. Now, let's move to something even more calming. A flower, not a spice. Gentle on the nerves, soft on the eyes, and backed by solid science. Chamomile tea. If golden milk is the warrior calming inflammation and restoring structure, then chamomile tea is the whisper. It doesn't push, it invites. And for seniors struggling with restless sleep, eye fatigue, or scattered thoughts at the end of the day, that invitation can be life-changing. Chamomile has been used for centuries as a natural sedative, but modern science now understands how it works and why it matters so much for the aging brain and the visual system. At the heart of chamomile is a compound called apigenin. This flavonoid binds to specific receptors in the brain known as GABA. A receptors, the same system targeted by anti-anxiety medications. But unlike synthetic sedatives, apigenin works gently, supporting natural sleep rhythms without sedating the nervous system into dysfunction. This matters because quality sleep is not just about rest, it is about repair. A study in Molecular Medicine reports in 2018 found that apigenin exhibits significant neuroprotective activity by reducing oxidative stress in hippocampal cells, the very brain region responsible for learning and memory formation. The same study observed improved mitochondrial function and increased resistance to age-related neural damage. In plain terms, chamomile helps your brain breathe, and when the brain is less inflamed and more oxygenated, it retains more. It restores faster. It clears away waste literally through a process called glymphatic drainage, which only occurs during deep, uninterrupted sleep. But what about the eyes? Chamomile's benefits extend beyond the mind. It also supports ocular comfort and healing in ways most people overlook. As we age, the small muscles around the eyes become stiff, the tear ducts underperform, and the microvessels that supply oxygen and nutrients begin to narrow. This leads to eye strain, dryness, and poor visual focus, especially at night when the eye is supposed to recover. Chamomile contains essential oils and polyphenols that exert both anti-inflammatory and antispasmodic effects on the ciliary muscle, the muscle responsible for adjusting the lens of your eye to focus on objects at varying flam distances. A clinical study published in Pharmaceutical Biology in 2017 found that chamomile extract reduced intraocular pressure and improved antioxidant enzyme activity in ocular tissue. This suggests a potential role in protecting against early glaucoma and oxidative stress-related eye diseases, especially when consumed consistently in low doses before sleep. Another study from Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine in 2020 showed that chamomile tea, taken regularly, improved subjective sleep quality, and reduced symptoms of eye discomfort in older adults, particularly those with late-day tension headaches or digital eye strain. Chamomile also helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that, when elevated in the evening, can impair both memory consolidation and melatonin production. Lower cortisol means deeper sleep. And deeper sleep means more complete regeneration both neurologically and visually. So what's the best way to prepare chamomile tea for maximum benefit? Choose loose organic chamomile flowers or high-quality tea bags. Steep in hot, not boiling water for 8 to 10 minutes to allow the apigenin and volatile oils to fully extract. Do not add sugar. If you prefer a little sweetness, use a touch of raw honey, but only after the tea has cooled slightly to preserve its compounds. Drink it slowly, about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Let it become a signal to your body, a permission slip to power down. No screens, no bright lights. Just a warm cup in your hands and a quiet message to your nervous system. Because in a world that pushes noise, chamomile teaches stillness. And in that stillness, your body can do the quiet, profound work of healing, eyes included. Let's keep going. Because the next drink is something far less common, but potentially even more powerful. A golden thread that not only sharpens your sight, but brightens your mood. Saffron tea. Of all the warm drinks we'll talk about today, saffron tea is perhaps the most surprising. Most people think of it as a rare cooking spice, a flavor enhancer, a luxury item. But behind that golden color lies something far more powerful, a natural compound that has been shown in clinical studies to slow vision loss and elevate mood in older adults. Saffron comes from the dried stigma of the Crocus sativus flower. Just a few strands contain dozens of bioactive compounds, including crocin, safranol, and crocetine, each of which plays a different role in protecting neural and retinal function. Let's start with the brain. Crocin, the pigment that gives saffron its signature golden hue, has been shown to enhance learning and memory by modulating NMDA receptors, key components in the brain's plasticity. A randomized, placebo-controlled study, published in Human Psychopharmacology in 2010, found that daily saffron supplementation improved cognitive function in patients with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease. Not only that, but the effects were comparable to donepezil, a leading pharmaceutical used to manage dementia symptoms without the same side effects. In that same study, researchers noted a significant improvement in mood and overall emotional stability, something especially important for seniors facing the mental fatigue and isolation that often accompany cognitive decline. Now let's turn to the eyes. Perhaps the most remarkable findings about saffron come from a 2016 study in Journal of Translational Vision Science and Technology. In that trial, participants with early-stage age-related macular degeneration were given 20 milligrams of saffron per day for 3 months. The results were stunning. Retinal function improved measurably, particularly in terms of contrast sensitivity and light adaptation, two functions that commonly deteriorate with age. Crocin and crocetine help protect photoreceptor cells in the retina by acting as potent antioxidants and by enhancing oxygen diffusion through retinal tissue. They also help reduce apoptosis, or programmed cell death, in retinal ganglion cells. In simple terms, saffron helps slow down the process by which your vision fades over time. Let me tell you about Marie. She was 68, a retired librarian who had trouble reading again because of early-stage macular issues. We added saffron tea to her bedtime routine, 1 cup, 5 nights a week. After just 6 weeks, she told me she could finally read multiple chapters again without headache or eye strain. Now, I'm not saying saffron cured her. Nothing works in isolation. But when the right compounds are delivered consistently, in the right context, the body responds. So how do you make it? You only need 3 to 5 saffron strands per cup. Boil water, remove from heat, and let the saffron steep for 10 to 15 minutes. The longer you steep, the richer the infusion. The water turns a deep, golden orange, almost like sunlight, in a cup. You can drink it plain or with a touch of raw honey. Some people add a few rose petals or a small slice of ginger to deepen the flavor. But the key is consistency. Real saffron, real water, real time. The beauty of saffron tea is that it doesn't just support your body. It uplifts your experience of life. It helps you see the world and yourself with greater clarity. Now, what if you're wondering how to bring all of this together? How do you go from sipping one tea to making it a true routine? That's what we'll cover next. Now that you've seen what these 3 warm night drinks can do, the question becomes simple. How do you actually use them? Because the truth is, healing doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. And for most older adults, the best plan is the one you can actually follow. Here's what I recommend. Start by choosing just one of the 3 drinks to begin with. If your biggest concern is inflammation, brain fog, or joint stiffness, golden milk may be the most supportive. If your sleep is restless or your eyes feel dry and tense in the evening, chamomile could be your go-to. And if your main worry is vision loss or emotional flatness, saffron tea might be the one your body needs most. Pick one. Drink it for a full week. Let your body adjust. After that, you can begin to rotate them. You don't need to drink all 3 every night. In fact, I often suggest something even simpler. Golden milk on Mondays and Thursdays. Chamomile on Tuesday and Saturday, saffron tea on Wednesday and Friday, and on Sunday take a break or come back to your favorite. Each drink should be prepared at least 1 hour after dinner, ideally about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. That timing helps your body associate the drink with sleep and recovery, not digestion. Keep the portion small. 1 cup is enough. You're not feeding hunger, you're feeding healing. Use real ingredients. Avoid sugar or artificial sweeteners. And drink it slowly, with the lights dimmed and the television off. Let it become a moment, not just a habit. If you're on medication, check with your doctor to be safe. But for most people, these drinks are not only safe, they're gentle, nourishing, and profoundly effective when made part of a quiet nighttime rhythm. You don't need to do everything all at once. You don't need to be perfect. But if you can give your brain and your eyes just 1 act of support each night, 1 warm cup, 1 silent moment, 1 healing signal, the results will come. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters and doing it with care. Now, let's end with something important. Because even if your vision has changed, even if your memory isn't what it used to be, I want you to remember this. It's not too late. And it never was.